everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of a Designer podcast. This is a weekly podcast where we talk about the latest in graphic design news from around the web. My name is Adam. I'm a designer from the San Francisco Bay Area. I specialize in visual UI design with a little bit of illustration. I like to give companies character. And every week I'm joined by my co-host Terry. How's it going, Terry?
Hey, Adam. Thanks. Yeah. As Adam said, my name is Terry. I'm a UX UI designer from the Bay Area, and I help bridge the gap between products and their end users.
Yeah, and today we have another portfolio review, and it's somebody you know, right? Melody Ulep. Can you maybe you could talk a little bit about her?
Absolutely. Well, remember Adam and I always says connections, 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 and basically always reach out. Well, this is proof in the pudding. Well, anyways, she actually reached out to me through LinkedIn, and we just started talking. And then also too, I found out she's from Hawaii. And then once I heard that, we started talking about Hawaii and the islands and mainland and verses, and we just started to talking story. Well, before I get into that whole connection, let me tell a little bit about her. She is currently taking the Career Foundry course, and she'll be done in June. But her background is very Renaissance. She's been a welder back in Hawaii. She's been in hospitality, and then also taking classes for doing web design. And she also does freelance photography. So I think that's awesome. She has a great background. And then it turns out the reason why she got into this field is because one of her cousins is actually a designer. And basically, I just found out her cousin is her cousin's aunt is that person. I used to work with that person a while back ago. So hi Zai. So anyways, Melody, if you can tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then also too, if you have questions for us, what are the themes or maybe topics or like tips you want to get out of this portfolio? Because again, we are here for you. So ask anything at any time or anything whatsoever. So if you can just tell us a little bit more about yourself, that would be awesome.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Melody, born and raised in Hawaii. Moved here in 2000. Um, Lived here for 10 years, and then I went back home 2010, and then was a welder. Came back 2018, and then went into UX design. Um, so as far as my portfolio, um, it's only one project. So, and it's, I think the most trouble I have here is case studies, how to lay it out, um, and try to put so much information, but make it short. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a lot of people that don't like to read, and that's what my mentor kept stressing on me. It's like you have to keep it short and sweet, but it's hard to get it at that sweet spot with trying to explain everything.
Right. Okay. So let's get to it. So for me, I always like to go to that about page, because for me, I like to know about the person. Who is the person? Where's the person's from? What are the quirks? What are the everything like that. So I do have to say, starting out of the gate, I really like the color combinations
Okay.
of what you have, because you have like a teal, and then you have the orange, and then you have the yellow, and then you have the brown. And normally I haven't seen a lot of brown in different portfolios, but the color choices that which you've made, it's really nice. It's just enough, and just not overwhelming the viewer. Adam, any thoughts?
Yeah, as far as the overall look, yeah, it's great. I love that you picked a few different colors, right? You stick to these four main ones, and yeah, it's since you don't have that much as far as like overwhelming with like different elements. You just have a few text elements here and there. Like it really works pretty well together. And the headers, how you have it like this, really helps it even stand out more because those parts are the loudest. So it's a great like little splash of color um, throughout the whole piece, throughout the whole site.
Thanks.
Yeah, and then also too, out of all your images, I mean, this is my personal opinion. I like the first image of where you have of your eyes. That's kind of goofy, and then basically I like the fourth image too, because
Mhm.
I think that is just, of you're not afraid, right? Because that shows the person, or or basically the recruiter or the person who's ever looking at it, like, oh, she's goofy, she's fun, she's just, a normal, well, I don't want to say normal, sorry, of a down to earth person that, of you're not afraid of fun, if that makes sense. So, Adam, thoughts?
Yeah, the photography is fun. I would have preferred if it was like wider. It's pretty thin, but other than that, yeah, it looks great. It shows your personality, which, in the design field, sometimes it's refreshing to know, at least from looking at the portfolio, that you're dealing with somebody that's going to be cool, right? Because sometimes, you get all kinds types of designers, and um, just to see one that's more down to earth is it's fun. It's reassuring.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. Okay, so if it's okay with you, so let's move on to your bio. Okay, so you're saying here, I was born and raised on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. Most of my days growing up was playing outside surfing at the beach. I graduated from college as electronics technological degree and made a move to Northern California at the age of 21. I worked for some great companies as a computer technician, but then I decided to move back home after 10 years of living in California. I went back to school and earned a, a carpentry and welding degree. Okay, I think you can probably reverse those. Um, what what stood out for me is basically your degree doing electronics,
Hmm.
and then also when you worked at some great companies, but also too, what were of the companies? Maybe you can mention one or two, and then also it's really cool that basically if you went back to school and you got two more skills. So like somehow if you can take your three skills, that basically what you learned and what you're learning now in UX, and
Hmm.
kind of weave them together somehow, right?
Okay. Okay.
And then also here as your second paragraph, um, as you put down here, I love to design and build things. I learned that what makes me the happiest, but sometimes what's missing when designing and building, it was that interaction between myself and the people. So I think that first sentence and that second sentence and that third sentence, those are really powerful. And then also the fourth one. So somehow, if you can maybe put those more on top,
Okay.
and then interwove of those three skills and blend it in with the UX of what you're doing now, I think you'll have um, a powerful statement more about you.
Okay. Cool.
Adam, thoughts?
So I like the first three sentences where you up to where you talk about you moving to California age 21. Then the rest of it is just I don't think it's needed that you work for some great companies as a computer technician. I think you can actually um, instead remove that and condense um, the next two sentences about living in California for 10 years. It would be great to know, like you do talk about your carpentry and welding, but tell us about your experience as a freelance photographer. Tell us about your history with, so your knowledge of web design, right? Like, um, show us that you're all over the place, which is kind of a good thing, right? You have all these different parts of experience, right? And you can get different pieces from that, right? You know about the industry, about design, about the creative field through the web design and photography, but then also sprinkled in there is all these other like interesting things about you, like carpentry and welding. So it'd be great to learn more about that, and so weave that into your history, and then the next section is talk about, yeah, what are you doing now, right? So I love design, love to build things. Yep. But something was missing. Okay, yeah, maybe. Um, it was interaction between people and myself. I like that. And then that's what makes you excited. Yeah, I mean the rest of it's fine. But I would say, yeah, beef up the first part about your history with talking a little bit about what other design fields, just so they know, you know something a little bit about the design field or the creative field.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you have any questions for us at this point?
No, that's interesting how you guys look at about, I mean, if you were like actually interviewing people, that would be the first thing you would look at is
I
about
mean,
me.
I would.
Yeah.
Um, Again, this is my own personal opinion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because if just for if just for some reason, if I'm in charge of a team, right, and basically if I need to hire out a team, you know, I want I, I want the individuals on my team that basically they can do their job. I don't have to worry,
Yeah, yeah,
about that
yeah.
person saying, "Hey, I would love you, to do this X, Y, Z. So what do you want to do?" And they'll tell me like, "Okay, great, let's work together." Boom, off. You're off and running.
Hmm.
If you have questions, come back and we'll talk about it. But other than that, we're all adults. We all need to know what we need to do as a UX UI designer, and just
Yeah.
get it done. And if we have questions, ask
Yeah.
questions. So, Adam, you got thoughts?
I work the opposite. I'd have to see your work first because I have to see if you meet a certain level of just competency, right? And then from there, once I know, okay, this person at least has what it takes to work in the group, then I want to know more about you. But that's just different flavors.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, always different styles. But once I know about the person, I would go to the work and then find out, well, do they have a good foundation, like using grids, using space, using um, typography, just
yeah. Hmm.
the foundation.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, Adam, let's go back to the main portfolio.
Okay. Right away, I see one little issue is your main like text here is hidden by it's overlapping a little bit with your first portfolio image. So
Could it be just the screen is too small?
yeah, it could be because it's stretched out all the way on my screen end to end, but that might be something you might
Look
want to
into
take a
more.
look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
QA.
That's good to know. Because I was looking, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What
See,
I
you wouldn't
oh,
get past my filter. I'd be like, oh, I don't know about this one.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. That's
out of your first paragraph, what I love is like aloha. I like to make things simple for others when it comes to usability. I think that says it all. That's just my take. How about you, Adam?
Yeah, exact same thing. I like that it's simple, it's clear. You don't need to say that much about your personality in the paragraph itself because you do a great job at it with the Aloha. It's colorful and it stands out, and so you don't need to be like, hey, I'm a quirky UX designer. So you don't need that because that says it all right there. So yeah, it's nice, and yeah, I do like that nice tag at the end. I like to make things simple for others when it comes to usability. Yeah, simple, sweet.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really beautiful. That's simple. That grabs my attention. I like to make things simple for others when it comes to usability, and that, and that just one sentence it makes you approachable too. Like if there's feedback or something, of your coworkers can actually come to you and tell you, well, XYZ, and you're like, okay, great, and you won't take it the wrong way.
Oh yeah,
So cool. Okay, so let's go to the ink. Your projects. Okay, so let's kind of just scroll through and see. Okay, so far I like it. It's nice. It's very, I like the typography. Everything is grid, and then it's columns. I can read everything. I like the brown too. I'm
Mhm.
not, I'm not bothered by the brown at all, which I'm very surprised.
Well, you kind of maintain
Yeah.
this like 70s aesthetic a little bit with it, which is kind of cool because it reflects back with the Aloha and the About Me.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah,
I dig it.
absolutely.
It
Yeah,
definitely
it
makes,
works.
yeah.
Okay. Just keep going at them. The solution. Okay. Keep going. Build. Okay, so you're saying build user mobile, and then got your research. Keep going. Okay. Okay, let's go back up.
Hmm.
I just want to see. Okay, so so you are stating your project, Ink Art is a mobile app that will help users find tattoo artists and get to know them on a personal level by viewing their profile that would contain information that is left out in other apps. That okay, good. You got your role. You said of what tools that you use, and you say a problem app such as Instagram will not include information containing where they are from, how they get started, how long they've been in business, and ratings and reviews past clients. These features will help users decide which tattoo artist is best suited for them. Okay, just by reading that, I'm not sure what the problem is. Adam,
Hmm.
thoughts?
I think it makes, well, because I saw it ahead of time a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much what you're making is like a Yelp for tattoo artists, right? So people can search for tattoo artists and then see their ratings, see their pictures, and then if you like them, book an appointment with them, right?
yeah, yeah. It seems like everything is so rate and reviews based now. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I think something right here about finding ratings for being able to search, and not only that, but being able to view their work. Just a little more context, I guess, would be great. Because yeah, it doesn't really come across that's kind of like an app like that. Um, but real quick, one thing I did want to point out is that I like this. The problem is that you have too much of the same screenshots here. I get that this is like, the onboarding or the intro part, but you're leaving a lot of blank screens. Whereas when you go back down, you get kind of like a better flavor, right? Like I feel like this sells, like the Jesse Smith, the portfolio page sells. And
okay.
so, finding which page like this calendar app is great. Finding ways to weave those into this homepage would be a lot better. Like
Okay.
maybe put that Jesse page, that profile page here. You know,
Okay.
you actually don't need this thing. This is you're not using enough of your real estate that well in the bottom left screenshot. So I'll switch those out. Put more. I just noticed that right now. So, but I love the tattoo gun in there. That's pretty cool. That's like a nice little thing. Okay, but yeah, that's the only. Okay, so go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, cool. Any questions so far?
No, this is good feedback.
Good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Definitely scroll down. Got your solution. You said build a user-friendly mobile app that will include detailed information about the artist. This will let the users get to know them on a personal level and answers all unanswered questions before booking them. Yeah. I'm just wondering if you can make it a 1 or 2 sentence.
1 or 2. Okay.
Yeah. Because you definitely made a point earlier that people need short, concise sentence, and definitely get to the point faster. I'm not saying this is not bad or anything like that, but I think you can shorten it just a little bit, because you have build a user-friendly mobile app that will include detailed information about the artist. And then you say this will let the users get to know them on a personal level and answer questions before booking them. I think the last sentence, and answered all unanswered questions before booking them, I think that is that gives me a little bit more information, because of course you're gonna build of a user-friendly mobile app. That's what we do as designers. So maybe if you don't need those first 2 words, maybe you can put like this app will include detailed information about the artist and XYZ or something. Maybe you need to cut out that. I don't know. That's just my thing, Adam.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be good to get. You don't need to include that. But yeah, including detailed information about the artist. But then this last sentence is definitely a big part of it. So I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nitpicky typography thing. If you remove that the text hyphenates, that'll make that include jump onto the next line, and then that'll bring this down, so it's not sitting by itself.
Okay.
Yeah, just that's like the nitpickiest of nitpickiest of things. And then I don't know
It's
how.
good to know.
Okay, I don't know how
Yeah.
this reacts, but we'll see after that this comes over, and just little things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The rag line, clean as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So user research. Okay. I don't know, Adam. Again, this is just my personal opinion. Okay. So you have existing features and new features, and then you have insights in the middle, and then you have needs and goals. And insights, is that insights to the left or that's insights to the right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the insights is actually for the existing features and new features.
Okay. I was kind of confused, but that's okay.
I can see why. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Adam, please chime in if you agree or not. For me, I uh, love to read all sticky notes. So I wish these were a little bit bigger,
Okay.
because because that helps me know, so what's your process? So what do they really say? How are you gathering these? And then you have your insights, and your insights, they're so small, it looks like of your sticky notes are bigger than your insights.
That's right, huh?
I don't know, Adam.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see maybe bringing the existing features sticky notes and the new goals sticky notes up, just so you're showing all the sticky notes that you were thinking about, and then at the bottom, now that you've done this thing, what were the insights of everything? But You know, I think the hashtag, I think they're readable. I kind of like how they're organized like that. Although, it would be nice if the needs and goals was, either you're gonna make them a big messy chunk or like more tight like you did with the existing features. So, pick one or the other. That way, it's like this needs and goals is dominating, where it doesn't necessarily need to be. Also, I don't know. You have a few that are the same, like with like a calendar with availability. You have that twice, and then you have the third time, but with added text on there. So, um, so maybe you can trim some of those out. But I personally like how you're playing around with having these kind of overlapping sticky notes things, even though you did it digitally. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm,
All right.
mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
by the way, I love this. Although I don't feel like you tackled it the right way, but you did a great summary, right? This is like the high level version of what of this section, but you go into a deep dive in the PDF form. That's why I thought it was great. Like I like that that you're giving a summary, but then hey, you want to give a bigger deep dive. Here's a PDF that has more of it. It would be great if you along with you have these sticky notes here. It would be great if you have like off to the side like just a paragraph or something to talk like what's going on here. Give us some context of what's
Yeah.
going on. You just have Nicole something, I don't know who
Oh,
she
okay.
is, but you're giving me, you could be like, here's a study I did about Nicole. Here's you know why are you or with these next sections, like let me know that okay, here is some different profile studies that I did, and then show me them. Right now you just have all the people's information, and then now you're not giving me any insights of what you learned from any of this. You're not giving me like what do you why are you doing this. Behaviors and attitudes, that's great, but what about that are you going to take from there and use in your app, which you kind of have here, I guess. Frustration quotes. Well, you do that here. It would be great if you just if you yeah, I want this, but throughout the whole experience. Show me,
Yep.
talk to me a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. Okay.
Give me like a whole, tell me the story. Don't give me like the summary because I don't know the summary, right? You're forcing me to like piece together what you're thinking. Or just tell me, right? Just write it
Okay.
all out. And since you have this whole section to do that whole deep dive, then that's great. That's the perfect opportunity to do so.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also too, instead of having that deep dive right down there, you can have it on the top and just give us a little explanation about it, about your user um, research and stuff, right? So
Uh-huh.
when you go up, you have of your title, and then you have a little paragraph of like why you did it and how you did it, and then this is just a little snippet, and then here if you want to take of a deep dive, check out the link or da 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 xyz for
Okay.
that. And then
Mm.
also too, when you deep dive, you said thank you, and then basically on your website, you put mahalo. So keep it consistent,
Okay.
So
Okay.
which is it? Yeah.
even though I know it means the same thing, but you're like, what? When you scroll down, it's like, what? She said thank you. How come she didn't say mahalo? 'Cause that's what she had earlier.
Okay.
I know. Small things, but yeah.
Yeah. Also
Okay.
another small thing, you could bring the space in a little bit as well. It's like a big
Yeah,
old
it's kind of
jump from
far down, huh? I didn't realize
yeah.
that.
It could just be, different browsers. That's the thing that sucks is like it looks great on your computer and then it looks like terrible on somebody else's. And you're like, come on, you gotta update your browser. Maybe it's my browser that's like all old.
I think it's mine.
Maybe who knows, right? Let's see. Okay. Oops,
Oh,
sorry about
dictionary.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We're learning something also. Competitive analysis. Okay. So I'm assuming you are comparing these two apps, yeah? Here.
Yes.
Okay, key objective, overall strategy. Okay, I like the icons. I think the icons are nice. But maybe it's just me, but the font the font looks smaller than basically the icon font.
Oh, okay. I see.
Also,
Yeah.
too, you kind of lose the style that you've been kind of building up before here. Like, where's the brown? Where's the, where's you could throw that in there. Here it's just all black and white.
It's not very consistent, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. 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 So like you can Adam, if you go up again, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Up, 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 up,
Yeah.
up. Okay. Okay. So you have it brown and you go down again and then you have it white and then go down again. Maybe if you can have like of a title box across that's brown, that would help break set maybe each section. And then when you go to this one, competitive analysis, maybe that can be like a brown box, how you have it on top. So
Okay.
maybe it's like alternating the brown somehow. Try it out, see if it works. But like if it doesn't work, maybe you can have a thin brown box around it. So like it's like in case,
Okay. See.
just to make it
Yeah.
more, I don't want to say more modern. That's a bad choice of word. But just to make it
Pop a
flow.
little bit.
Yeah, pops. So it's not like all like um, too much space. Adam, do you agree, or maybe space is good?
Uh, I don't really have a problem with how this is kind of because you have the hierarchy and
Hmm.
how big the header is and that it's in upper caps. Yeah, I mean, it just like the space is off, right? Because like look here, for example, my eye will think that this view detailed analysis is part of this just by how close it is in proximity to how far this is, right? So things like that are like here too. I'm like, oh, is this part of this now? Oh no, it's part of that. But how would I know that? Because it's so, the proximity plays a factor in how this is all aligned because I'm scrolling and sometimes I'm scrolling too fast and I could get lost. And so finding ways to break up that space a little bit will work in your advantage is like for separating content. Yeah, I mean, we also have seen how people do is like since this is a whole section, maybe color it in a different sense. So, you could gray all this out, um, and then it's a big gray section box that's like separate from this, so that the viewer knows right away, quickly, like if they're scrolling up to find a section, that yeah, okay, that this part is separate from this section is different from separate from a different section.
Oh, okay.
Things like that. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, how to divide each section. Um,
But
but
one other thing for this section, right? You talk about the key objectives of each company, their overall strategy, their market advantage. It would be great to have a section that talks about like what are some areas of opportunity for each of them. Because not only because what you're doing as well is you're seeing what the other company does really well, but then also what they're lacking in, and it's in those areas where your app can excel. And so to talk about what are some areas of each company that are maybe they're lacking or that they're just not doing that well, will work in your competitive analysis as well. So then be like, yeah, I noticed that they weren't having pictures. You couldn't talk to they don't have direct contact with the other with the tattoo artist. And these are things that my app offers. And so, you know, how
Uh,
can you differentiate? Also,
oh.
too, I'm hoping that you are working on this section, right, to fill this out.
Is it not linking?
No, not linking.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I know it's always those little things where you're like, oh man, it's like they cut, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That always happens to me too. I'm like, oh, of course I forget to do that, or
Link.
forgetting attachments and emails. That's me all day. You know.
oh gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, Um, so what service are you using for of your website?
This is Adobe Portfolio, actually.
Oh, okay. How do you like that?
My
It's
portfolio.
is it my portfolio? It's actually simple. I mean, I just needed to do it like real quick. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
actually have another website that I did in WordPress, but so I'm doing that right now. Um, this is way easier though. But you don't really have too much options.
I
Yeah,
see.
can't really
Well,
customize it. So
sometimes when you don't have options, that really makes you think like how creative you can get too,
yeah.
because when you're working at a company, you're not going to have too much options either. So within those constraints, right? So what
Mm-hmm.
can you come up with too? So it's a
Yeah.
great
That's true, huh?
exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going over your your user flow. Okay, I'm gonna be picky. So you see the line between the line and then your objective. You got
Hmm.
a big space, and then you have your line to your entry point and your other one here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is closer to the entry point, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So whatever line you have of Kobe here, and with that space there, just make sure it's the same space between that line from there and then also of your second line. It's just spacing.
You got a good eye. It's like, oh yeah, it's irritating me now.
Yeah, I'm I mean stuff like that, that's what art directors and lead designers look at. When I interviewed, oh my God, it was like 5 years ago, I thought I was going to do so well in this interview. And the guy was like really, really nice. And he goes, "Do you mind if we can just go through your work? Because I want to educate you." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he went line by line with space and grid and typography. And I'm just all like, oh my God. That was like one of the better interviews I got because he was just like, oh, this is like this is like that. It looks off. And basically, he actually told me the size of the typography. He knew the size, and then also too, he knew what font it was. It blew my mind. I wrote it down, and basically, I went home, that day later, and basically, I checked the thing. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is like, he's on it. So yeah. So after a while, once you develop that and you keep designing and you look and you look and you look, you'll be able to spot stuff that's just kind of like off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh.
but other than that, I like the brown again. I really really like
Oh,
the
okay.
brown.
I brought it back.
Yeah. Okay. So you scroll down. Yeah, I think that is looking good. It just maybe it's just me. Every single square you have like really good space. But when you have a search results screen, that looks a little tight.
Yeah, it does. Okay. Gotcha, Dallin. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Adam?
Yeah, I think overall, I think it's laid out really nice,
Mm-hmm.
and so I love that. Yeah, I mean, I have no comments on this besides all the things that Terry pointed out as well. I definitely agree. But yeah, I like I like it overall.
Okay. Okay. Any questions?
No, 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 no.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, finds the two artists, Resi Topper. Okay, although this one, it doesn't talk about the user flow about learning more about the profile. So just they find a tattoo artist, but then what? Like that they're not reaching their successful criteria yet. So Reed's, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I have to see what the um,
Okay.
but
I'll
yeah,
make that
yeah.
clear. No,
Okay.
no, no. It's good so I can make the corrections.
Hmm. Okay. User persona talking about Kobe. Kobe. Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
Sorry, I was talking on mute. I hate when I do that.
I thought we were both just reading this whole thing. I was like, yeah, okay, it's a
No,
reading time. I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
no, I was talking on mute. I was just reading about Kobe. Is like, man, I want Kobe's life. He works 3 days a week, 12-hour shift. He surfs 3 or 4 times a week, and he enjoys times with his family and friends. Kobe, I'm jealous of you. That's awesome.
And he has a budget to get tattooed. Look at those sleeves. Yes.
I know. That's
Guy's been
awesome.
getting tattooed for a while.
Yeah. No, but going back to everything, everything looks nice. Everything is lined up. You have really good typography here. The only thing for me, maybe the font is a little too small, or maybe my
Small, yeah.
screen,
It
or
is.
or maybe
Mm.
or maybe Adam's screen is too small. I don't know.
Hey.
Um, but normally, if you want to have fonts, maybe 14 pixels or 14
14.
points. Yeah.
Okay.
12 or 14, right, Adam? I think it's 14 for the body
Yeah.
text.
12. Well, 12 is from print. I don't know how it relates to web, but I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. I mean, the only issues I'm kind of having a problem with are the size of these bullets. They just seem like a little big. But
Mhm.
that's just
Yeah.
nitpicky on my end. I think because of that, it kind of makes the baseline for the text drop a little bit. So if you see how, but I'm not gonna fault you if you decide to keep it or anything, so that's fine. Yeah, I think also it's laid out pretty well as
Hmm.
well. Definitely like the layout. Definitely looks clean. Um, yeah, no issues pretty much with the overall look. And you follow that up with Kelsey, same thing.
Kelsey. Oh, poor
Yeah.
Kelsey. She works full days, man. Sucks to be you. I'm just joking. No, actually, everything looks really good with this. Again, the same issues or the same comments from Kobe will be the same thing with Kelsey
Okay.
too.
Yeah, I think overall it's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Any
Yep.
questions?
No, it's the the bullet points actually does look big. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Right?
gonna
Don't you hate
yeah, it is.
I
Kind of
hate
stands
also
out.
being called out on certain things as well because then it'll bug me. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. No, I've had this like that for like for like months. Why didn't anybody tell me?
No, no. So it's good that you tell me whatever you guys think, so I can.
Yeah, and and this is what this whole experience is basically about. You can watch this later and just take our advice. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, you don't. That's cool because this overall this is going to be your portfolio too. Um, the
Mhm.
site,
Yeah,
it looks. I mean,
tiny,
oh,
huh?
yeah, yeah, it looks really tiny. Um, I'm trying to see if you can. You actually have the room on each end to make it a little bit bigger.
Okay, I'll redo that.
Yeah, yeah. If you can make it bigger, like maybe about 10%, I think that'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have the problem, right? It's like it's a common problem with portfolios is that because you chose to put everything in an image, right? You gain the look and feel that you want, right? You gain the control of how it'll look, but you might lose the scalability factor on different browsers, right? Like seeing this on a mobile, I don't know who's who's looking for you and is going to look through on their phone, but they won't be able to see this that often. And that's
Mm-mm.
just that's not a knock on you. It's just the problem that we have to deal with, right? Like, how can we make something that looks clean and nice, but then that also scales well and reflows well, um, so you know
Well, well, do you think, Adam? I just want to bounce this idea off. Couldn't she have like this on the bottom?
mm,
I think she went on mute.
yeah, you kind of cut out there a little
Oh
bit.
my
Okay,
goodness,
there you go.
I
There you go. We
I
got you.
actually hit my button on accident with
Oh,
my
okay.
finger because I'm like touching my laptop as if I can move things, which I know I can't. Um, but like I was just asking Adam, this is kind of like a, a an idea. What about if you put the image on the bottom, right? And you make like maybe your first you have forgot password, login, create account, onboarding, and a home, maybe as one big image on top, and then you can subset each one. So like that would be like an image, and then maybe your profile, user or tattoo artist, user tattoo as another one, and then you break each one down maybe. So maybe they can follow it, and then once they look at all the pieces and when they see it as a whole, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. I don't know. Adam, what do you think? Would that be too much?
No idea. I don't know. It's kind of hard to uh it's kind of hard to figure out, right? I would say the problem is, like, you could bring in everything, but then you also need to make the squares bigger, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's going to end up being this probably the exact same width once you're done bringing everything up. So yeah, it's another problem. Like, we want to show everything, but then um, how do you do it and have it all visible at the same time? Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I was
it's
just, yeah, I was
Yeah.
just thinking like to break out certain sections
Hmm.
just to kind of see, maybe not all the section, but maybe one or two or three of just to show. And then they go, oh, okay. I don't know. It was just,
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. Like, put all your key figures
yeah,
bigger, right? Like the home settings and profile, and then everything else is smaller because it's all
smaller. Yeah.
secondary. Uh, you know, maybe. I don't know how that would be perceived, but that could be something. It'll be kind of cool to
Be a little
take a look,
different
see.
too.
Yeah.
It'll definitely
Um,
draw attention
yeah. Also,
as
fix
well.
this a little bit, but that's not no big deal.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. And
What?
your wireframes. Okay.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
so you have your low fidelity, your mid fidelity. Scroll down a little bit, Adam, and your typography. Okay. Okay. So, as Adam was like saying earlier,
Hmm.
if this will go on your mobile, right? So
Yes.
you have one, two, three, four, five, six. If you have six screens and you put that on a mobile, they won't be able to see it. But what would happen if you break it up either in threes, and then you can
Okay.
stack them in threes, or you can stack them in twos? Two, two,
Yeah.
two, two. So when a recruiter does take a look at your site and they're on the go and they go on your mobile, or actually not on your mobile, but on their mobile phone, they can see it. So like I would play with that. Start with three, stack it
Okay.
on three, on both on your low fidelity and then on your mid
Okay.
fidelity, and check it out on your phone and see how that looks. If the three looks good enough, then leave it doesn't, then I would stack them by 2.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. I would say your low fidelity seems a little too low fidelity. They're just pretty much sketches and scribbles, right? There's no real text, so
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to say like what it actually means, right? Like if you're gonna hand this off to somebody, another designer or somebody like the point of a is to help people understand what the flow is, and here there's really nothing that says, oh, this is the calendar to book an appointment app, this is to rate them. So if you're going to go with these sketches, then maybe have a little context underneath that'll tell you what the flow is, just to let you know, hey, this is where you're going. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like it doesn't have to be, it could be like whatever this is, like whatever this font. You don't have to like point it out, just to have something that you're showing what the flow is. And it could even just be in the image itself, because you're not giving enough context as to what any of these images are. The mid fidelity, you kind of get more of it. Um, but it would be good. I don't know. Maybe you had something that said, like, these are reviews. This is appointment. Like a little
Mhm.
header that let people know where
Yep.
they're at. Um, yeah. Also, too, is you could update the name because I don't think it's called Ink Tank anymore.
Oh, that's right,
Mm.
huh?
Mhm.
I
Ink
changed
Tank.
it. Okay.
That's fine. You know,
Yeah.
uh, because then I would worry too. I'm like, oh, did she just get this from somewhere else? Like what?
Like
Like what's going on here?
confused, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just pulling stuff off the internet. This one.
Okay. So you have your typography.
Yeah, it would be
Uh,
good if you had examples as well. Here you just have the medium and bold. Show me it in context a little bit, how the header looks
mhm.
like compared to body text. Because right now I'm like, oh, okay, you just grabbed a font. Like how are you using it?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, this is
Show
great.
like the H1, H2, and all that.
Yeah, you could do like a
Okay.
sample paragraph, and then like let's see, typography paragraph where you show how it's broken down. Um, I don't kind. Well, whatever. I'll find one later and I'll show you. But let's say you had this, right? You show your title, you show this kind of like subhead information, and then you show your paragraph. You can put off to the side, header information, 14, 24 point, bold, blue. This is or red, 10 point, what the leading is or whatever, and then same thing here, just to give like how you're using it, what's the rules for each one,
Okay.
kind of thing. This is fine.
That's
Uh,
great. I
yeah,
like that a lot.
simple color. I like
Simple
they're using
and
different colors.
clean.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clean, clean, clean. Okay. So go down and
And
your
then here,
final mock-up.
yeah. See, I love these screenshots.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
The one thing though is that you only have it here. It'd be great to see because I feel like these are pretty cool. Like this is I love the portfolio one, and then like I said, the calendar is great. This rating, it would be great to see them by them, in more sparse, kind of throughout.
Mhm.
Uh, because right here it's like, oh, cool. First of all, I have to like tilt my head a little bit, so I'm like my neck is hurting watching them
Yeah, yeah.
because like you have a lot of cool stuff in here that I want to see. And so it'd be great to show them in another context. Like this is kind of like a splash page where it's like, oh, this is just more like wallpaper. But so you're not really meant to like show each screen individually in this kind of setting. You're just kind of just like, oh, here's everything all in one to take a look at. But show me these pages out in like individually, not all of them, but just some of them, just so I could get like a really good clean look at each one of these, um, you know, in all its glory.
Okay.
Oh, here's
Yeah.
your Mahalo.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
See, like for example, too, like you have a link to the prototype, which is great. I like that. But like for me too, I just kind of like like even if you had a GIF of
Of how it's working.
you, yeah, in the other page, right? Just like you doesn't have to be that crazy. Just show me, show me a little bit throughout. See, this is cool.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I can't go back. Let's see. Booking chat. It's cool. Yeah. It also would be good to allow me to go back, because then I'm gonna get lost. I'm like, oh man, how do I get? Great, now I'm stuck. Oh, great, now I have to go through this whole flow. You at least your funnel works, because I'm forced to go.
You're
Yeah,
forced to go.
yeah,
Yeah, and then also too,
cool.
I didn't even notice the prototype down there until Adam
Yeah.
said it. You definitely want to have the view prototype all the way up, Adam. If you go
Hmm.
up, up, up,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, at the beginning, go all the way up.
Oh,
Oh,
all the way
okay.
up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go down,
that's
go
true.
down, go. Yeah, right here. So like you can put underneath problem prototype just in case the recruiter or the hiring manager is running out of time. You don't want to make them hunt for it.
That's a good
Oh,
point,
okay.
because you go all the way here and you go, Mahalo, thanks for watching, and you go, okay, it's over, and then it's like, oh, by the way, view the prototype. Like, what? Okay, well, so you hit it down here all the way. Yeah, that's true. If you didn't know it was there, it might be a feature that people won't even click on.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Yeah.
Is it something that should be in the portfolio as far as viewing the prototype, or like a GIF would just be suffice?
Both.
Yeah, add both
Both.
for sure.
Okay.
Both. Absolutely add both. The more I know this might sound kind of silly, but imagine somebody just trying to be entertained
Uh-huh.
for your website, right?
Yeah.
Because if they lose interest, they're gonna leave. But the more you keep them engaged, like, ooh, this is nice. Ooh, what's this? A little movement here, a little interaction there. Have it,
Hmm.
the flow. You'll keep them longer. But as soon as they see it and they go, oh God, I can't find anything, they're gone.
Okay.
Yeah, and also too, it's like a subtle thing. Oh, by the way, I know InVision too, right? Here's a project I used. I did using it, right? It's like, it's just like a subtle way to tell them, by the way, yeah, I said I used InVision, by the way, here it is as well. Um, let them know that you know how to use the app, how you know how to use all these new features, right?
Hmm.
So, it's like a little things like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. And that's it. That's it for this guy. And then your link to your information. Let's see. I don't want to go there, but yep, it links to it and links to. Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. Let's go back up and the resume. Check out the resume.
I'm
Okay.
gonna minimize it so we have it all in one view. Okay.
Um, yeah, it looks very, very clean.
Mm-hmm.
You, I really like how you said find me here. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got your welder, you got your work history. Um, let me see. Yeah, I think it's very, very clean. Adam.
Yeah. No. No real issues.
No.
I think overall it's fine. It would be great to have a little more spacing between here, between the middle line. Like everything seems so close. So give me
Yeah.
a little more breathing room um,
Yeah.
to this line.
Yeah. Also, too, maybe try to have the line half of that point thickness.
Yeah. I was also I was just gonna say something about the thickness of it too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Nitpicky things, right?
Yeah,
No, no,
sorry.
no, no. So,
And
uh,
then and then and then sorry. You know how you have Find Me Here in like Honolulu that's almost lined up?
uh-huh.
And you want to have like maybe of your skills and your work kind of lined up
Like
together.
too, right? I know.
Yeah,
I
and your
was looking at that too.
tools. Yeah.
But I was like, it's not gonna fit. It's,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I think the skills and the tools I think are gonna be too close together. If I'm gonna.
Uh, Try it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, because like how the way I'm reading it down. I got your name, academic, boom. Find me here, boom. Skills, work, boom. Next, tools, and they're kind of like partners.
Okay. I got.
I don't know,
uh,
Adam,
yeah. Um,
or does it matter?
nah, I don't. This side, I think I don't see a problem too much on this side. What I would say about your work history is, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a welder's resume because you talk a lot about what you do there, and like look at
Mm-hmm.
all this one. This is like a lot, big chunk of it, and I would say, I don't know. I wonder if like um, you could de-emphasize this and then bring in I don't know, like maybe if there's a way where you can just
Of your website and stuff, right?
yeah, promote more of your design more, like bring this down to 1 to 2 bullets and then use that space to more talk about focus on the design a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And the
um
photography too.
yeah, you could even put on a resume. You could put like your freelance work as a your freelance work as a photographer, that never ends. Right? You could
Yeah.
technically be a freelancer till this day.
Yeah.
So maybe put that in there. So maybe you have freelance well, I don't want to say development skills because yeah, then if they call that upon you and you can't deliver, you're like, okay, don't screw myself over. But
Just kidding.
yeah,
JK.
or talk about you know under
Yeah.
your education here, maybe you could emphasize this a little more and then talk about what are the classes or what are you learning, what are the
Mm-hmm.
things you, and then under here it's like de-emphasize this a little bit more. You have this, you don't, here I'm talking about like, oh, okay, if I have a position for a welder, I think you'd be great at it because you're like telling me so much
Yeah.
about it.
I.
you know
It was
Yeah.
hard to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still confused at how to make my resume because it doesn't scream designer, you know.
Hmm.
So I think I might just put my photography in there and take out maybe I don't know.
Y-
I'm scratching my head still on that.
You can actually combine of your welder, right? I mean, you don't have to put in like all what you did. Maybe you can just have one bullet point and just have it at the bottom. And then, as Adam said, and then you said to bring in your photography, freelance photographer slash designer.
Hmm.
You can do
Okay.
that because 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 there's a lot of photographers who are designers that they actually take their own pictures, and that would be something that basically the next app you do, you make sure you take your pictures, so when you go into the interview they go, oh, I took the photos, you did the photos, yeah, oh, okay. Again, you have to bring in something to beat out another designer, right? Some people beat out of like, okay, if you take Adam and I, Adam, he can draw, he can do illustrations up the wazoo. Me, I can't. I'm learning, but he's just better at it. So, so that's what you want to emphasize more within your designs.
Mm, okay, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Also
Absolutely.
keep in mind the freelance photography industry also offer, like it's an entrepreneurial position, so it's you practically, in a sense, running a business. Not only that, but you may or may not have used some of these Adobe products in the process, right? So having to retouch photos, you might have to use Photoshop. Having to use some sort of imaging management um, uh,
Tool.
tool, right? So like Lightroom or things like that. Having to maintain or put things on a website. I don't know, but maintaining a website, that's also, skills that are kind of all involved in there. So, maybe, and then over time, all these wilder positions will drop off of the resume completely, right? So, find a way to drop all these out little by little,
Okay.
and bring that in. Also, too, like, if you do any, if you've done any like volunteer work that's design related, UX related, include that more as well. Or what kind of design communities are you in? Hey, not only that, I'm also part of the meetup group for designers. We specialize in blah blah blah. Put that in there. Uh,
Absolutely.
drop out the welders more and more.
Okay.
Yeah, and then remember that little tagline you had on your website? The one, oops, the one, oh, it's not in here.
I like to make things simple for others when it comes to usability.
Yeah, that would be cool to put that on your resume somehow, or maybe a little splurge or something. That's just a little tagline because when they look at this, that can tie it in with your website, because if they do print this out, oh, Melanie, who's this? Oh yeah, that tagline, yeah, I remember that. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I it's just a little strategy, a little bit, just for that, just kind of make sure everything is tying in. And then also too, this is all black. I don't
I was
see
just about to say that.
any any of those gorgeous colors of what you have in Aloha. I don't see any of that.
So just kind of add that
Play,
in then.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely play
Okay.
with that. Because like the more you tie everything together of who you are, what you stand for, and for your work, and who, it's just going to make you a solid person. Like, she has it. I like that. And I actually had a student. He had one one UI project on his website, and he got a full-time job at an ad agency. So it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So you just never know
Crazy.
who might be looking at it at the right time, the right timing, and the right place. You just
Yeah.
never know. So, anyways,
Oh.
any more questions?
No. It's,
Look at that.
let's see.
There you
Say
go.
hello, say aloha.
Oh yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah. Keep it you.
Kind of branding then, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Everything is about that.
Okay.
Yep. You still have to, the way you also brand yourself is the way you shows what you can offer the client as well, right? Hey, I could brand you like I brand myself. Um,
Okay.
although I think it's way harder to brand yourself as an individual, right? That's like the
It
hardest thing.
is.
Yeah. Well, that's
But you have a great
why.
start.
Yeah. No. No. I like it. Like you want to say, I love the color. I think it's you and just who you are, like being like the welder. You got the brown, getting kind of dirty, but not really dirty. But then you're from Hawaii, and you got the teal, right? And you got the mellow with the orange and the yellow, but it's still bright, but still down to earth. So It says a lot, I think,
Hmm.
but that's just me. So, but
Um, as far as resume is, so resume should be on your website then.
yes,
Okay. And
Adam,
then
your opinion?
Yeah, I don't. I guess so. I don't really care too much about it, to be honest. No, I mean not yours in general, but just if you should have it.
Mhm.
Like for me, I wouldn't put a whole page for it. I'll just put it in the about me section because I don't really want. If you really want my resume, it's there. But I figured, how are you gonna find me? You either find me through LinkedIn, I guess, which will have my resume on there, or I gave you my resume through a PDF, through email, or printed, so you have my resume already. But that's why I'm like, I don't need a whole page to show it. But if you really want it, I'll throw it in the about me. But that's just my thoughts about it.
okay.
Oh, that's funny. I'm the opposite. So,
Yeah.
so that's good. That's why it's always good to have different opinions, and you take what you like about this and you make those changes. And then if you don't like it, then don't make those changes.
No,
Good
I'm
point.
gonna make the changes. I'm so amateur at this. I'm like, I need all.
No, 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 no. Don't say you're amateur. You're not amateur. You're learning. There's no
Yeah.
such thing as amateur. We're all learning. Even even seasoned designers, they learn. We all learn.
Hmm.
Nobody knows everything 100%. I don't care who they are. They don't. You're always learning. You never stop learning at
That's
all.
true. True that.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I think it is a really, really great start. You just gotta clean up some things, make things some tighter here and there, and get of your copy down, and really, really focus on the branding part of like you, you know, what when they read this, what they want about you. What do they want to know about you?
Okay.
I know.
Hmm.
I know it's a lot. Food for thought, right?
Well, I have all the time in the world now with COVID-19, right?
Yeah, exactly. COVID-19. That 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 is such a that has been very hard on a lot of people,
Hmm.
still getting laid off or even having a job, but maybe their partner gets laid off, or maybe some of their family actually got sick and stuff. So
Hmm.
it's a hard weird time, I think, for everybody. But the more we just move forward and just connect with each other, I think, you know, our world's going to change. I think working remote is definitely going to change.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think you got into a great time to get into this field. So it's never too late. Never too late. Okay, so anyway, if you don't have any more questions for us.
Um, I just want to thank you guys for your time and then having me on here.
Oh,
It
absolutely. It's our
Yeah,
pleasure.
so Adam and Terry, that's pretty awesome of you taking your time to, go through my portfolio. It really means a lot to me because I can only grow from what you say. I mean, that's the only way I got um to do like my assignments and stuff is all these feedback from other people. So,
Hmm.
Yeah.
but thank you so much. Mahalo.
Oh, absolutely. It's our pleasure. That's why, you know, actually it was Adam's idea. It's like, hey, you want to start a podcast? Oh, I don't know. And then later on, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we've been doing it going on a year and a half now, Adam? Is that right?
I think so, right? We're at
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
episode 90 plus something.
90 plus. Yeah. So hopefully this is our way of to give back and just
Yeah.
encourage people and just, and we learn too, meeting new
Mm-hmm.
people and, and and trying our better ourselves, like how to talk or how to do presentations. So it's not an easy thing at all. But Adam, any more questions or feedback?
No, I think it's pretty good. I like all of it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, before so we just wrapped up that portfolio, and thank you so much for actually having your portfolio on here, because I know a lot of people are scared to actually do it and have it on film and have everybody of to watch and stuff. But like hopefully this way more people can actually see your work and see who you are as a person, and hopefully if there's any companies out there, she's ready for hired. She has a great foundation, so you know keep it up. But also too, we actually have a question of the week, and this is the question. It's from Melissa T. I am just curious if anyone has slight concerns about the presentation quality of their portfolio. I thought that would be a really good question because that's what we're doing today. So, so I'm gonna ask, before you came on the podcast, to have your portfolio, to do a bit before and after, what was your concerns about the portfolio of the before and after?
Um, Actually, I was pretty stoked when you asked me. I was like, oh, I didn't know how to do a podcast. I've never been on a podcast before, but I was like, yeah, I mean, this would be a good opportunity for, designers to actually look at my stuff and take the time to actually do it, which is awesome. But it, in a sense, it was a little scary because I'm not finished with my portfolio, but
Mm.
still, it's the feedback that I got. It's gonna really help me improve it when I actually put it out there live.
Right, right, right. But do you think that is just part of the process
Oh yeah, I mean, just as far as like making improvements, you mean?
of just always?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now she's asking if there's anyone who's slightly concerned about the presentation or the quality, right, of their own work. I would say yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would always have, I don't say concerns, but if it's good enough, how can I improve it? How can I make it better? Because if your portfolio is not up to par, then you're not going to get any calls,
Mm.
right, Adam?
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. And how do you compare yourself to others, right? I mean, um, that's always the hard part. What are other people doing? I have no idea. I can't go and search. I guess you could just go on, do a Google search for UX design and see what portfolios you can find. But it's always going to be an ongoing thing we're going to have to work on. Um, I don't know. I don't know how you can keep on top of it. I would say just as long as your work mimics those that you see on these high end, these popular upload sites like Behance and Dribble, and if your work looks similar to those that you could find with similar agencies, right? Because those are kind of the people who you're sort of competing against. See what they're doing and see how they're presenting their work, and does your work look like that? And if not, then at least you have a baseline of how you should make it look and how you can and then improve upon it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that statement because it's always a work in progress. Your portfolio is never done. You can always improve.
I know that's the hard. That's the the worst part about it.
Well, that's why everybody, well, not everybody, but everybody has some time during the day about their hobbies, right? They go and work out, or they binge watch a movie, or they do something. So maybe spend 20 minutes a week working on something on your portfolio.
I know.
Just
I was like, ugh.
Adam was like, no, I don't want to do it.
I know.
But that will help get you closer
Hmm.
because if you don't look at your portfolio and and you just shut it away for like a year and a half and you don't look at it and you come back, you're like, oh, what was I doing? I don't know anything. But if you go and visit it every now and then, you kind of know what to do. You'll get ideas, you'll get inspired what to, or to rip it apart and then do it again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sometimes you got to break it down and you got to build it up. That's what I did a couple times. Not a couple times, try like seven.
Yours is really nice, actually.
Yeah, well, and that was I break it apart a lot. Before the current one, I had one, and that one I broke it apart like, I don't know, 7 to 10 times, just like redoing everything and the writing and just everything, and that took me forever. And then this one, it took me longer. So, but
Oh, you
yeah,
pulled it off.
well, I had help too. So I had a branding coach help me.
Oh
So
yeah, that helps.
yeah, it did. It really helped, and basically, I learned a lot from her as well. So it's like, oh, okay, nice. So yeah, it was good because I was just trying to. I did it before myself over the summer, 3 months, and it just looked like I'm missing something. It's like I'm gonna hire somebody to get my brand together and really focus on me, and that was the best money that basically I spent. It was really worth it.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Thank you. So yeah. All right. So it looks like we are wrapping it up. We just did the question of the week. And then after that, Adam, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Adan Cepeda. That's AdanZepeda. And you can find me on Instagram at adanzi.designs. What about you, Terry?
Yeah, they can find me. I'm talking about they. Everybody out there in the universe can find me on Twitter. My handle name is Flaxenink, FLAXENINK, and on Insta it's flaxenink.designs, and then on TikTok it's just flaxenink, and then of course you just write my name in LinkedIn and I'm right there. And before we end, Melanie. So
Yes.
so where can we find you on the web, number one? And number two, do you have any like interesting news, or now it's like the shameless plug to announce anything that you might be doing? So first, so where can we find you out on the web?
On Instagram, you can find me at Rock Salt Plum. It's ROCKSALTPLUM. Same thing for my Twitter, be Rock Salt Plum. And um,
Shameless plug. Anything that basically um, you want to do but you haven't started yet. Is there a
Mm.
project or maybe something you want to learn?
um, I'm I'm trying to improve on information architecture. Actually,
Oh, cool.
yeah, I'm trying. I I don't know how you guys do it. You just kind of come up with in your head how to lay it out. It's like a map of how to navigate through the whole app. So that's what I'm trying to improve as far as, and then trying to do trying to learn other software.
Okay. Yes. If you we had a Natalie on
Hmm.
um Was it? It wasn't last week, was it? Or was it?
I think
I
it
can't.
was. Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Natalie. We had Natalie on last week, and she is a content pro. You should listen to that podcast and reach out to her. She is
Mm.
excellent, and she recommended some books how to organize information too. That
Mhm.
basically, I think it's in the last podcast. Is that right, Adam?
I'd have to check, but it's if it's not this, yeah, it should be this last one. If not the last one, it's the one before it.
Yeah, yeah. So check out Natalie Dunn and definitely reach out on her onto Twitter. She is a wealth of information. Just yeah, that's all I can say. Is like it's she reminds me like of the Magic 8 Ball, right? Or just like of a genie of a ball with all answers. You ask her something and she'll reply back, "Oh yeah, this like, oh wow, thank you." So yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For
just
sure.
a wealth of knowledge. So anyways, so that's great. That's good. So you are learning a new skill. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up. Before I do, is there any last questions for us?
No, just thank you so much for your feedback and your time. I appreciate it so much.
All right. So we're gonna end the podcast, and we'll see everybody next week. And stay healthy, and how that's else too.
Yeah. Stay healthy, everyone.
Okay. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye.
Bye.